Welcome back to the Virtual Grip Network. We are working lap number 64 here, and there's a lot of people coming in for pit lane. We've spanked the gremlins and put them to bed without dinner. We think we're going to be able to bring this to you the rest of the way.
Yeah, watching the round of pit stops, Soup, we did have several drivers pit, but also looked like we had a few stay out in this. So it'll be interesting. Obviously, if this thing goes green, I think those that stayed out are going to be at a disadvantage. But if we get a late race caution, those that have that set of tires in the pits could benefit and play spoiler in this race.
You're looking at car number 12. That is Eric Stout. He was the point leader coming in. He's had a horrible time up tonight. This is going to be a race he'll not want to remember. But on the other hand, car number 21, Jeff Aho, is your leader. Former winner this season, Brandon Feeney, is in second. We got 35 to go as they come across the line right now. Round number 8, as they begin to double up, the lights go off the pace car. We're going to be going green here in just a minute. My partner talked about might be a good race for Double Deuce Bruce Pearson. Well, number 22 finds himself in third, really the first time he's been racing up front, I think maybe this entire season. The 81 to Ken Allen outside of him. Allen's been racing in the top 5 the entire evening. Well, if you're the defending champ and things have not gone your way in the first half of the season, you want to close out the first half maybe with a win. That's what Jeff Aho is trying to do right now. Pearson says it's time to go. That's a great jump from the defending champ. Aho out in front's got that inside line working. Feeney to the outside. I think he's going to be able to get the best of that. The 38 gets a great run off it too. And my goodness, the 81 at Ken Allen is pinned. Nowhere to go. Look at the 38 trying to make the outside line work. But my partner has told me that doesn't last for very long.
It does not, but I'm amazed that he's been able to hang on this entire lap. Jeff Aho is definitely struggling on the cold tires at the moment. He's going to, well, I said he was going to clear, but the 38's able to hang just to his right rear corner on the outside there. So, yeah, Aho is definitely struggling on the cold tire suit.
Pearson hanging on, watching it happening in front of him as he tucks in.
Oh, big wreck off of 4.
Started way up front there, and then it caught the rest of the field.
Yeah, and we see on our screen the 89, Bradley Steffen. He's a winner this season, but he's going to be the car with the most damage. You can see him getting turned into the outside wall there. Oh, see Rob Higgins actually go airborne for a second, so a couple of cars are going to have a lot of damage in this one.
Got into it with Rex Hoyle. We talked about Hoyle's success here at USA. It was Steffen and Hoyle that got together. And then it was an octopus putting on socks. Everything going everywhere. Couldn't tell what was going on.
Yeah, and you can see from that view, we saw Rob Higgins actually go airborne. It definitely damaged his left front suspension. So, yeah, his night's going to be done. Bradley Steffen's night's going to be done. His car is destroyed. So, multiple drivers that kind of had a promising night ahead of them are going to have an early finish.
Because we had connection problems, I'm not sure if we're able to bring up this graphic, or if we do, if it's going to be accurate. Director, what happens if we bring up the pit stop graphic? Will that be up to date? It will not be accurate, so we can't tell you. Unfortunately, all the commentators had to step away, so I'd like to go back and think maybe who got new rubber to see if they have an advantage.
Yeah, I can tell you, Sue.
You can do that? Okay.
From SDK, at least, who pitted. Hard to tell if they got tires or not, but Ken Allen definitely stopped back here on lap 63. Huh. So he has made a pit stop. He would be the first car that's done that. Brandon Feeney made one, but it was all the way back on lap 10. The next driver on that most recent round of pit stops was A.J. Hamill, who was leading the race at the time. Fred Leclerc in 6th place, Joshua Buckley, all the way down to our 14th place driver of Aiden Alvecchion. All of those drivers have come in. Right now it's just Jeff Aho and Feeney's out there and Bruce Pearson.
Which would make sense why Pearson is so far up the running order, because he did not pit. So, Ken Allen, I'm just going to assume that Kenny came in and took tires. I don't see why you would stop if you didn't. Don't need fuel. I guess you could go in for some repairs.
Yeah, possibly. It's just he came out, far enough ahead. I think he restarted in 4th place on that last run. So, yeah, I think he was just one that had the quickest stop. Probably only took right side tires. And, like I was kind of saying earlier in the race, the right rear is the one that you really have to worry about. I don't think left sides will be a big factor here. So definitely want to get those right sides. I will say he's done a very nice job with it, because sometimes when you take those cold right side tires, it really throws the handling off in the opening laps, and he's been able to keep it under control.
Okay, well, we're working lap number 74 when we come across the line. Let's see what Allen can do. He's been on a roll of late. Bruce Pearson says, let's go on the outside line. Boy, Pearson really wants to get going. Another bump on the inside from Brandon Feeney. He wants to Aho to get going. Now watch, look at the top side. Oh my goodness, that really came around. I don't know much about much, but I think the 81 has an advantage here.
It's definitely, he's going to have to keep it a little bit tighter than that going through the corners, but he does have an advantage because he has fresh rubber. Aho was struggling on the bottom with those older, colder tires on that last restart, but Ken Allen's hanging tough here. He does have a spot to get down, so if he cannot pull this off, he needs to get in behind the 21 and try an inside pass.
Yeah, I think he thinks he can get it done. Nope, it's not going to work. So now he can tuck in if he wants to. Boy, he tucks right in behind Aho.
Yeah, and Ken was really attacking there, and one of the reasons why you do that is because these cars, and he's going to make an inside run here going into turn 3, he's going to get to the inside of Jeff Aho, but the reason why he was being so aggressive there is because when these tire temps are cold, everybody's kind of even, and he really needed to get that done to make sure he didn't get a lot of heat in his tires and then start to slow down some of that new tire pace. But with that, A.J. Hamill's going to follow him through as well.
Boy, I tell you, Aho has just got to be saying, what do I got to do to turn things around? Last season, everything fell my way. It was so easy, and he just cannot seem... While he is racing up here in 4th position, and there's, 19 other drivers that would love to be in his position right now, he just can't seem to get it going. Now the 13th, this is Joshua Buckley. Granny Hips having a nice run. Don't get to see him racing up front very much. Look at that.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the thing a track like this produces. When you have one set of tires in the pits, you get a caution at a round mid-halfway point of the race. You get a lot of strategy that comes into play, and you start to see drivers that weren't up front start to be up front. Aho getting in the wall a little bit off turn 2 there.
Oh, man, he's struggling. Now, we know that Pearson didn't take tires, but either way, Pearson makes quick work of them as well. Jeff's just not feeling it.
No, he's not, and I really believe that he, already with the older tires, I believe he really abused them these last couple of restarts, and now it's starting to show up, and it's probably coming mostly from that right rear. That thing gets really hot, really slick, it gets loose on corner entry, and it gets super loose on corner exit. And I think we actually had a pass starting to happen up front.
Well, let's go up front. Yeah, this is A.J. Hamill. We've seen Hamill and Allen. They've been swapping the lead. One time it was Hamill up in front, then it was Allen back in front. Now look at the drive that Allen gets off of corner number 2. He is really strong there, but drifts it. This is exactly what happened last time he had that good run off of 2, then takes it really wide through 3 and 4 and loses all that track.
Yeah, you just can't get that high. Oh, almost contact with Bianchi and Aho going into turn 1, but you just can't get that high in the corner this late in the race. There's just too many marbles up there. The car will not rotate.
This is the 7th time that the Red Light Racing League has brought the SK Modifieds here. Josh Buckley never missed one. Right now having a nice run in 4th with a lot of gap back. Oh my God, really, Alan Wanamaker is struggling. Let's look at this. The 71 getting underneath him of Fred Leclerc. Hey, Leclerc, boy, he has really had a nice race.
Yeah, absolutely. The car looks nice and clean. We haven't talked about him a whole lot. And yeah, at this point in the race is when you want to be moving forward, and that's what he's doing. Is what he is doing. He's up into 6th place. He's going to try to chase down Bruce Pearson, but I really believe that Bruce has done a nice job saving his tires to get a nice top 5 out of it.
Director, quickly, let's put it on the 83. We don't get to talk about Andrew Critical Massey very much. He started in 16th. He's cut that in half. And my goodness, he is under attack right now from Brian Bianchi. Bianchi looking all over him. Bianchi loses a little bit of momentum. And Rex Hoyle has made a nice comeback after being involved in an incident.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talk about Rex Hoyle just about, every week, and it's not always him running up front, but he is able to have those finishes. He gets average finishes done that are very nice. He's 3rd overall in the season and has a number of top 10. I believe he said he had the most top 10.
Has not missed the top 10. Yes, every race he's in. And once again, he's got himself into the top 10. Nice job for the 54.
Yeah, and you talked about a 16 race season. This is exactly what you want to do. You want to be in that top 10 every single race. That's how you maximize your points throughout the season.
All right, just a baker's dozen worth of laps to go. I want to give credit to everybody. Let's look at the number 9. This is Alan Wanamaker. Started in the blackjack position. Wanamaker now trying to pick one more spot up as he ducks underneath Fred Leclerc. Leclerc closes the door like Queen Elsa on Coronation Day.
Yeah, and he did a nice job overall. You got to be very careful when you're trying to make that pass and you have a number of cars right behind you, because one little slip up on corner exit that slows you down. We talked about momentum racing. These cars are that, and it will cost you down the straightaway. He's going to get himself, I think, in a bad position here on the outside.
Well, it didn't work underneath, so he says, I'll try it up top. Give him points for effort. Minus points for getting the job done, and he's actually going to lose that spot, I believe, as Hoyle gets underneath him now. Oh, careful, boys! Hoyle up to, this is going to be 7th position, I think, as they come around here. Nope, 8th position. Nope, I was right. 7th spot for Hoyle, so another run. Action is back here, a little farther back. Not much going on up front. Yeah. This is where the action is. This is where the yellow flag is brewing up.
It definitely is. These drivers are moving around. They're super close to each other. If there's any type of contact, it's probably going to involve multiple vehicles. And this is where Jeff Aho is kind of settled in, is back in this pack. Not where he wants to be. He is definitely a driver that wants a caution right now. We're coming to like 7 or 8 laps left in this race. He needs that caution to get some new tires on.
Hard to imagine. We just saw Aho racing up front. Things went south. Old rubber. A little too wide battle. Wanamaker. Now he's back on the low side. It's the best of the 71. Move Fred Leclerc back a spot. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, he does. Fred tried to do like an over-under crossover move there coming off the corner. Almost got it on the apron, and we talked about how deadly that can be in these cars. If you touch that apron, you're just going to come right around and create a big mess. So he did a nice job of not touching the apron, but it cost him. He almost had that over-under perfected.
Boy, another position picked up there from the 17 of Chad Alcaraz. He's going to bring Aho with him. That's the 3-digit car of Aiden Alvecchiano. And his 100th race drops down into 14th spot.
Oh, and look at this, Soup. You got Rex Hoyle. We talked about him being in that top 10. He's trying to get a top 5 out of tonight. He's going to make that move on Bruce Pearson going into turn 3 there.
You know what? I'm looking at my notes here on my legal pad. It says right Rex Hoyle, and it has a big line through him. I wrote him off. He got involved in an incident. look what he can do now as he gets up into the top 5. Trying to bring Wanamaker with him. The yellow number 9 against the yellow number 22.
Yeah, Bruce had done a nice job up to this point. He got himself some track position. Looked like he had some good tires underneath him, but he's going to come up about 3 laps short of being able to pull off a top 5 here tonight. Looks like his tires have finally decided to give up on him.
Keep it going straight, boys. Working lap number 99 is AJ Hamill. AJ certainly has championship potential. Does not have a win so far this season, but he comes around. He's 6 corners away from that. Keeping him on is Ken Allen. Ken Allen had a great run last time out of Watkins Glen. He continues to podium up. But the attention is on AJ Hamill. He's down the backstretch. 2 corners to go. And when you have those initials, you got to figure you're going to get a win eventually. The number 18 gets it done. Hamill gets the win. Allen gets second. And Granny Hip, stick around. The racing is over, but we're going to get to talk to Joshua Buckley, series organizer, as he comes home with his best result of the season, a 3rd for the number 13. All right. We're going to take a short break. We'll come back, run down the entire finishing order, talk to some of the drivers before we put a lock on the gate. Don't go far. You are watching, once again, the Virtual Get Network. Welcome back to USA International Raceway and VGN's coverage of the 8th round of the Red Light Racing League's SK Modified Series, brought to you by Skitters Creek. The results are in. Let's give them to you now. First win of the season goes to AJ Hamill. He raced up front for most of the race. He gets the win. He'll close up on the leaders in the points. Kenny Allen continues to have great results as he comes home in second. Granny Hips, Josh Buckley, 8th to 3rd. Well done from him. Brandon Feeney And Rex Hoyle go 4th and 5th, and I got to tip of the hat to Hoyle. He continues just to keep those good results coming in. Alan Wanamaker has a great run from the blackjack position to come home in 6th. Fred Leclerc, 14th to 7th. Look at this. Point leader Eric Stout, he was well down the order, had struggling to stay on the lead lap. What was all said and done? Teapot gets 8th, Bruce Pearson 9th, rounding out your top 10 winner earlier this season, Brian Bianchi.
Yeah, coming down into 11th place, got Andrew Massey there tonight. Chad Alcaraz, we saw him go forward, back again. He finishes up in 12th spot tonight. Jeff Aho, we talked about the great comeback that he had been going through. He'll come home in 13th place tonight. Behind him in the 271 car, Aiden Alvecchion. Bob Higgins, he comes home in 15th spot tonight. We saw him go for a little bit of a airborne ride during that one caution. Luke Logan Allen, he'll bring it home in 16th spot. Chris Oliver, he'll come home in 17th place. Chris Hazlett comes home in 18th. Brian Neff, 18 laps down, he'll come home in 19th place. Rob Higgins, he'll come home in 20th tonight. And rounding out our field, we got Bradley Steffen having a bad run, got caught up in one of those accidents in 21st. And Lowell Jewell, he'll come home in 22nd tonight.
Okay, this gives us an opportunity to talk to our race winner, AJ Hamill, and we'll use him to get a little bit of an update. AJ, we had a bit of a technical problem during the race. We had to miss about 5 or 6 laps right before that last yellow. So did you come in for tires, or are you on the same rubber that you started with?
Yeah, I took rights.
You got it. So that was that worked well for you. Were you struggling before that, or when the opportunity, were you glad to see the yellow come out?
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't sure what to do there. We knew we needed tires if we had any sort of long run. I think Jeff probably was going to get me over that last 50 laps. So I guess in the end it worked out.
You had a nice little battle there with Ken Allen. Sometimes you were out in front, sometimes he's out in front. You guys were passing each other a couple times.
We did. It seems like every week we're one of us in front of the other. I was thinking after a couple races, I'm never going to eat goldfish again because I'm sick of reading his back panel. But I was able to hold him off last week and then this week, so I guess we're even on that.
All right, well, nice finish for the number 18. Well done. We'll see you down the road. We wrap up the first half of the season. You good for the second half? Got your schedule all lined up?
Sure. Unfortunately, going to have to miss a couple due to some scheduling, but looking forward to the next couple races. See if
such is the life of a sim racer, man. All right. Good luck to you. We'll see you down the road.
Right, see ya.
AJ Hamill, winner tonight. All right. JR, you get to talk to the next guy.
Absolutely. Ken Allen, hey, man, congratulations on that second place run. Got to ask you, I know you led some laps tonight. Did you think you had a shot at winning?
Yes and no. The contact between me and Eric bit my right front, and I couldn't get into the turn like I wanted to. Just too much of a push, and AJ just had too much speed for me to close that gap on him. But I'm taking, second place still good. So far it's a good week for me.
Yeah, we speculated with all the action that's happened on the track that, yeah, definitely you might have had some damage there. So that was nice to know, and being able to bring that home in second place is extremely cool. So I got to ask you, man, you came in 6th place in points. You made ground up on the 4 drivers ahead of you in the points. So what are you thinking moving forward? You think you got a shot to continue to march up?
Yes. Yeah, that's a little hesitant. Yes, I'm trying to smooth things over here with Eric right now. So he says he owes me one now. So
yeah, it happens through the season.
It does. Yeah, but yeah, I'm starting to like my chances. I'm just gonna keep putting in the work. But I know AJ and Eric and Brian and Rex, all of them, they're putting in the same amount of work. So it's not going to be easy. But just keep plugging away and hopefully some good things happen for me and bad things happen to others.
Absolutely. I understand that. Hey, before I let you go, man, I got to ask you, what are your thoughts going into next week? We go down to South Boston. What do you think?
Love South Boston, my first oval iRacing win. on the came in South Boston. So I always look forward to going back there.
Awesome, man. Hey, hopefully we get to talk to you some more next week.
All right, guys. Thank you.
All right, guys. There's Ken Allen there, and with that, I think Soup's going to catch up with our third place finisher.
I think half of the iRacing members got their first oval win at South Boston. The other half got it at Lanier. At least that's my undertaking. Hey, when I was calling the grid here, and of course the grid is brought to you by RacedayCD.com, the most comprehensive site for short track racing news in New England, I looked up there and I saw, hey, there's Granny Hips, Josh Buckley, with a nice starting position of 8th. And then Josh, not only did that, you got yourself a podium.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but I'll take it.
So, did you come in, did you make a stop and get tires?
Yeah, on that last caution there, I believe it was the last caution, I came in and took right sides.
Now, you were up in 8th, you raced around, you were in the top 10, flirting with the top 10 most of the night. Were you ahead of most of the incidents? Did you got caught up in any of the big ones?
I wound up behind them, trying to avoid them stopping. That last kind of crazy one, I kind of did the bob and weave. I don't know how I made it through, but I made it through, so I'm not complaining.
So some of the passes that you made were legitimate passes of drivers who were ahead of you. You did it on the track.
Yeah, on the track, and then I did gain a few with that wreck there towards the end. So,
well, it's great to see you in the podium. It's always nice. As series organizer, I'm going to ask you big picture. Do you like the way the season is playing out so far? Are you happy as a series organizer? How it's going?
And not bad. Obviously, there are some races where there were a lot of wrecks that I wish that we had less wrecks at, but short track racing sometimes is how it works. But for the most part, yeah, would like to see a few less cautions, but overall, not too terrible. Get you out of here on this one. What has been the impression? What has been the feeling about the road course race? Of course, I ask you this with a bit of hoping that it was positive because I love road course racing. What was the attitude? It was kind of back and forth. There were some comments, wanting to do it again next season. There's some comments being like, that was fun and all, but let's not do that again. I mean, it's pretty much, give or take. So we are actually working on the schedule for next season already. So we might see it, we might not. Okay, well, the emails have been pouring in here to VGN on how much they love the road course racing. So if we have a say here at the broadcast company, we'd love to see it. Congratulations on the podium, and we love what you're doing here, and we're glad we're part of it. All right, thank you, guys. Granny Hips, Josh Buckley, he finishes 3rd. I hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you want to see another one of these, we're going to be doing this again next time as we talked about where we go. Well, we're going to South Boston Speedway, which is not in Massachusetts, by the way. So make sure you have your plane ticket going to the right direction. We're going to see you next Thursday. That's going to be March 6th. Oh, my goodness. So here's the deal. Pay your mortgage or your rent, and then a few days later, come on and watch some sim racing here on the Virtue Grip Network. But don't want to miss out on the Bootleg Racing League, the Outlaw SK Modified Series, Saturday night. We got that doubleheader. We're going. Where are we going? Well, we're off we go to Oswego, is what I like to say. That's going to be good. Those broadcasts, past ones, future ones, all in protection of the Virtual Grip Network. With that said, until next time, have fun storming the castle.